Hi, folks. Tony here from Refinement, Not Retirement, here to talk about, oh my God, the US presidential debate. Last night for us in the UK, today it's Friday, the 28th. Is it the 28th? I think it's the 28th of June. And I woke up this morning at 5:30, kind of excited to see how the debate went between Biden and Trump, hoping that Biden was going to perform well. And oh my God, what a disastrous performance it was. Look, Trump is in my view, in my opinion, is an unspeakably awful character. He's totally unfit to be US president. And with all the baggage that he has and the gaffes that he keeps making, really, he should be an open goal for any competent debater, you would think, wouldn't you? I thought, first of all, when I woke up at 5:30 this morning, that I would just watch the debate itself before listening to any spin or not by either side. So I did that. And I wasn't more than a few minutes into it. And I thought, oh, goodness gracious me, Biden is doing so poorly. He looked frail, he sounded frail, his voice was weak, he was incoherent, stumbling over his words, getting lost when answering questions about topics which, frankly, he should have crushed Trump on. Trump, on the other hand, lied constantly about everything, but he did that powerfully and confidently. And Biden was unable to push back competently with the actual facts. Trump's criminal conviction, with lots of other criminal convictions, I think, likely to be coming, you'd think again that Biden would have been able to do a lot more than he did, but he wasn't even able to give the appearance of somebody who was capable of being president of the United States for another 4 years. Trump, as I've said, is a convicted felon. He's been adjudicated of sexual abuse. He's been adjudicated as a fraudster. He urged an insurrection, refused to allow the peaceful transfer of power, still says that the 2020 election was stolen from him, and says even now in this debate that if he loses, he won't accept the result. So one side, well, actually, I couldn't really get past more than about 30 minutes of the debate. So I have to be honest, put my hand up and say I didn't hear the whole thing, but I'd be very surprised if it got any better. So after that, I started listening to the reviews, and it was very, very clear, very, very quickly that the Democrats regard this as a crisis. They're in total panic mode. And I think that also means, as things stand, that the world as a whole is headed for a crisis if Trump manages to win back the presidency. I mean, it sounds very likely that he will castrate NATO. He continues to take great pride in telling NATO countries that if they don't pay, he's going to encourage Putin to do, in his words, whatever the hell he wants to. He would encourage him to do that. I mean, what US president would ever speak like that over such a enormously consequential subject? So I think he would castrate NATO. And as for Ukraine, well, it seems highly probable that Trump will effectively side with Putin, and that will be the end of Ukraine as an independent country. And after that, of course, well, who knows? Obviously, Putin will feel emboldened to go further, and invade other countries, and it will encourage other people, like China, to take similar action. So it's really, really, really serious. NATO cohesion of NATO is vital to the world's security, and this man is a absolute menace when it comes to that, as well as when it comes to a lot of other things, including maintaining democracy. So, but the Democrats are really, it seems to me, at a crossroads. I mean, they need a new leader, and they need that new leader fast. So, as I understand it, the only way that really realistically can happen is if Biden bows out gracefully, recognizes that he needs to step aside. I think if he did that now, it would look like a generous act. I mean, to my mind, there's no doubt about it. He's a decent human being, unlike his opponent. And I think if he took this selfless action of stepping down, I think he would get an enormous amount of credit for that. He really needs to recognize that he is past it. Uh, he's not up to this task anymore. He certainly was. He has a great track record and pedigree, but he is not fit. He's not up to this enormous challenge that faces the United States, because Trump is just a huge, huge threat. And priority number one for the Democrats has to be surely that Trump must be defeated in this election. That's my view. This is a view from across the pond as someone, a Brit who really, really loves America. I've always said love spending time there, love our American friends. And it's awfully sad to see the way the country is so polarized. And this man, Trump, is such a divisive, nasty piece of work that it's really, really essential that we get a proper president in place. I mean, I've always been on the right of politics, so this is not a left wing person talking by any means, but I just cannot see how anybody really, if you look at the facts and listen to Trump's continual spouting of lie after lie after lie, I just can't see what the attraction is for people, unless it's simply a matter of, well, he's entertaining and he speaks in an entertaining way, and that for some reason gives him an attraction that I just can't fathom. But we need an adult in charge of this great country of the United States. We need it badly. And please, for goodness sake, both parties, I just hope that they will face up to really what's happening here and well, I mean, let's face it, the two candidates, Trump and Biden, are not, neither of them, one is more fit than the other, I think, but neither of them is fit for this particular role of leader of the free world, really. So let's hope that the Democrats can identify somebody who can really stand in these huge shoes, and they've got to do that fast. And as I say, from what I can see, that can only be with Biden recognizing that he needs to step aside now and endorsing somebody to fulsomely endorsing someone to take his place. That has to happen really, really quickly. And that has to be priority number one, to defeat Trump. Will there be another debate? Well, I suppose it's unlikely that Trump will bother, because will want to participate, because this really was a knockout punch for him, I think. I mean, I know that a lot is being said about all the lies that he spouted during this debate, but he just looked a lot more powerful. Forget about the content of what he's saying, because human beings being what they are, it's often the way things are said that are more important than what's said. Sadly, that is the fact of the matter. And Trump comes out of this looking like he's delivered a knockout punch to his opponent. This needs to be corrected, don't you think? Anyway, that's my view. I'd love to hear others. I'm still processing what happened last night, but it seems to me that even those who are the most ardent Biden supporters are realizing that that he's just not, are realizing that it was just a dreadful, dreadful performance. Let's hope that something good comes out of this very hard lesson. Love to hear your feedback. Probably the best way to do that is, as I usually say, via our podcast, Refinement Not Retirement's Facebook page. It's a good way to get in touch with us. I'd love to hear your views, either publicly or privately by direct message. I hope you will subscribe for free to our podcast, and that you'll share it with others. That would be very much appreciated by Christine and I. Christine will be back, I'm sure, very soon. She left me to give our reaction. She's in lockstep with me on this to the debate last night. So that's all for me for now. Goodbye, everyone. Bye for now.